Hey, it's Robbie here, and this is Frecky Fit Wolf. It's time for another collab video. All right, so Joan over at Joan's Pointed Plate invited me and a bunch of other YouTubers to make videos based off of holiday cookies and treats, which is a great idea because they're everywhere this time of year. I went to Aldi earlier and all the goodies are there. So we wanted to make videos based off of recipes that are lower in points so we can still get those treats and not be, forking over 8 points for a cookie. So her and everybody else, their links will be down below so you can watch everybody's videos to see what they all make. And I am so excited for this because I do like my Christmas treats. And if you know me, you know I love peanut butter. So what I'm making is a peanut butter cookie. All right, so ingredients. So first of all, you will need 1 cup of peanut butter. I was measuring, so it's a little all blah, blah. And then you will also need, where'd it go? 3/4 of a cup of light brown sugar. You'll need 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And you will also need 1 egg. That's still in the fridge. I haven't grabbed it yet. All right, so let's get into making it. All right, so I had to move over here because if you guys have seen another video, you know my only outlet that I can use in the kitchen is right next to the dang sink. So it's pretty easy recipe, guys. You seriously pop that guy in there. Get your egg in there. All of it. The baking soda and the peanut butter. I like this because it does not require a bunch of flour or any of the other stuff. So I'm excited for it. I am going to admit, and I'll put a link to the original recipe down below, that I did get this off of a website. I forget the name, but it'll be in the description down below. And so I followed hers mostly. I tweaked a little bit, and I'll explain that in a little bit. All right, so this, you just blend it together. All right, so all blended, all mixed together. Now you are going to take a tablespoon dropper. Well, it's literally just a tablespoon. If you have an ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop, that'd be perfect. I don't have one of those. And you're gonna get your pans and put them on there. I will say that I forgot to tell you, you preheat the oven to 350. Pro tip, so you don't start eating the stuff off the batter, you throw it in a soapy bowl immediately so the temptation is gone. All right, so you do want to level it off, and then you just pop them on here. And put them about 1.5 inches apart, because obviously they are going to swell up and everything. All right, so that got them all on there, and that makes 24. And if you want to be fancy, you just take a little fork, and you do the little crisscrosses that you see on a lot of them. Plus, then it kind of gets them a little bit more flattened so they have room to rise. All right, so now we're just going to take those and pop them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. All right, it's time for the Infinity Gauntlet. You know what that means. I get to take stuff out of the oven. Ignore how dirty that is. I need to clean. I have never cleaned an oven. I have no idea how. But look at those. Okay. I'm okay with that. That looks yummy. All right, I'm going to let these suckers cool off. Then I'll be back with the nutrition, taste test, and other random info. All right, so here they are. They look and they smell really, really good. So I'm excited. All right, so before I go into the rest of the information, let's taste one. Now that is really good. I'm gonna move these. So they are not tempting, because yeah. All right, so I followed a recipe from simplynourishedliving.com. I'll put a link down below. But 2 or 3 or several things about it. One, the recipe said that it would make 60 cookies. And that was if you were doing teaspoon size cookies. And it also said in notes underneath the video that, or underneath the recipe, that it actually made 48. But saying it makes 60, if we were doing that size, it also said that it was going to be 1 point per cookie. I plugged it into my recipe builder, and with the brands that I have, so like Aldi brand stuff that you can get anywhere, and it came out to be 2 points per cookie. So I also decided to do tablespoon size rather than teaspoon size, because those would be tiny, tiny cookies. And so it ended up being, 2.8 bites per cookie, or 3 points per cookie. And that is on all plans: purple, green, blue, all plans. And I'll also give the nutritional information so that if you're on a different plan using ItrackBites or any other method, you can figure out how much it is worth for you. So keep in mind how important brands are, because if I had followed her recipe and just took it for granted, I would have made these and just assumed it was 2 if I made it my size. Or if I even followed her size, I would have assumed it was 1 point, when in reality it was 2 points. So very, very, very important to go ahead and build it in your recipe builder. Don't just follow somebody's recipe and assume that the points are correct, because it varies depending on brand. I'm not insulting the lady, or I'm assuming it's a woman, that it could be a guy, sorry if you are. I'm not insulting that. It just, brands are very, 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 very important. And with that being said, also, I used regular sugar, light brown sugar. You can use other stuff like monk fruit. They do have a light brown monk fruit, which would lower the points a lot, because this stuff, this is just the regular kind. This stuff is 0 points. So that would cut it down a lot if you chose to do that. I didn't, just mainly because I have to get this online. I have not found it locally. I've tried, and I haven't. So I have to get it online, and I just didn't have the time to do that. So I used regular CNH. That will lower the points dramatically. So with that difference, you could easily make this a 2-point cookie for the size that I made them. I did not, so they are 3 points each. The rest of the information, just real quick, I'm going to type it below, but I always feel like I have to say it. Real quick, it is 68.4 calories, 4.2 grams of fat, 0.9 grams of saturated fat, 6.9 grams of carbs, 0.5 grams of fiber, 5.9 grams of sugar, and 21 grams of protein. That is following it as I do. Like I said, I do recommend check out monk fruit and get their light brown, because that will cut the points in half. Well, a little less than half, a little more than half, a little less, whatever. Either way, it'll cut the points. So I recommend that. And you can always get a reduced fat peanut butter. Again, I was at Aldi. They didn't have any. I got the regular kind. You could also, for an extra crunch, you could get crunchy peanut butter, which is what I was kind of wanting, but they only had the giant containers of them, versus I love peanut butter. I don't need a giant container of it in my house. Already, this thing missing a cup, it's still a lot of peanut butter left that I need to keep away from me. So that's why I went that route, much less getting the bigger ones. So I think they are a win, despite some of the discrepancies with the points and how many cookies it can make. Because also, since I was doing a tablespoon versus a teaspoon, I thought I could make 30 cookies. It made 24. So between that and point stuff, all of that, you've got to pay attention to, and, calculate it when you make it. But like I said, if you are using Aldi brand stuff, that'll help a lot. But if you switch it up, all that jazz, I'm repeating myself. So you get the point. Either way, these are tasty. I really, really like them. I'd be curious. I am going to try to make them with some monk fruit sweetener, because I don't want to pay 3 points per cookie, because I'm that person. So I want to I'm going to try it again. But I liked them. Hopefully you guys like them. And if they're worth the 3 points, totally worth it. Or if you're doing ItrackBites and you do by decimal, 2.8 points. So that can add up a little bit better than rounding all the way up to 3. But anyway, that's my recipe. Hopefully you enjoy, hopefully you like, and check out down below. There's a link to all the other channels that are participating, and they're gonna have low point, low calorie cookies and treats for Christmas time for you to enjoy. So check them out. And if you haven't yet, please leave a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe and hit the little bell so you know when I post videos, and I'll talk to you guys later.